Our story begins on a typical morning in Frostbite Falls, Minnesota.
Morning, Mr. Flappinstrap. What's the temperature?
It's about 10 degrees.
Above or below zero?
Above.
Hot diggity! Ma, can I go barefoot today?
Howdy, Mr. Crotchet. Nice morning.
Nice. 10 degrees above and it's only 11 o'clock. Gonna be another scorcher.
Yes, if there's one thing that's certain in Frostbite Falls, it's cold weather. So you can imagine the surprise of Rocky and Bullwinkle when they stepped outside their little cottage one April day and saw...
No, it can't be.
But is it?
It is. It's a flower.
Impossible!
There it is.
I don't believe my big blue eyes.
Maybe it's some kind of a snowflower, Bullwinkle.
Looks more like a Daffy Down Dilly to me.
And so a little later, all Frostbite Falls had heard of the strange occurrence and had gathered around the daffodil.
There's only one thing I can think, Rocky. The weather must be changing.
Oh, that nonsense. Not impossible.
I can't believe it.
There's one way to prove it.
How's that?
Let's go in the woods and see if the bears are still hibernating.
Hiberhootin'?
If the bears are out of their winter caves, we'll know that the weather's changing.
Say, that's a good idea.
No, I don't think we ought to go into the woods.
What?
I said I don't think...
You're contradicting Rocky the Flying Squirrel.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Bullwinkle, why don't you think we ought to go in the woods to see if the bears are out yet?
I thought we might ask him right here.
Here?
Certainly. Are you out of your cave, fella?
Are you out of your mind? That's a bear.
No, we'll never know if he's through hibernating or not.
Hokey smoke, I guess the weather is changing. What'll we do?
I don't know about you, but I'm going to take off my muffler.
And I'm going to call the weatherman.
But when Rocky tried to make his call, he got quite a surprise.
Weatherman, I'm sorry. That is an unlisted number.
Unlisted number?
Then how do we find out about the weather?
We'll just have to look in the paper.
And the boys opened their copy of the Frostbite Falls Picayune Intelligence, but to their dismay...
There's nothing there.
Gee, looks like the weather report is classified information.
Then let's look in the classified section.
Good idea.
Sure enough, nestled among the want ads was a small notice.
Weather reports have been canceled during the emergency period.
You mean during the emergency, period.
They can't do this to me, Bullwinkle.
They can try.
As a citizen, I've got a right to know what the weather is.
Everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it.
I know. We'll get some weather books from the library.
Good idea, Rock.
But as our heroes stepped outside the door...
No, it can't be. But it is.
What? Another daffodil?
No, look.
That's just your shadow, Rock.
Sure, but don't you realize what that means?
It just means the sun's out. The sun's out?
In Frostbite Falls.
In April. Quick, to the library.
And our heroes dashed to the town library and asked for all the books they had on the weather. But unbeknownst to them, as they roamed through the stacks, they were being watched by a pair of beady eyes. And when Rocky reached for a book on the back of a shelf...
Uh-oh.
What book are you trying to get, Rock?
Hey, there's somebody watching us.
Interesting title. Who done it?
He done it, that's who.
And he did. The malignant figure moved swiftly to block our hero's way out of the library. Maybe we'll find out what this is all about in our next installment, Funny Business in the Books, or The Library Card.
I thought I told you to whitewash the fence, Junior.
I am, Pop.
Well, it isn't necessary to write derogatory remarks about your best friend.
Skinny Aristotle's no friend of mine.
How can you say that? You and he have thrown discuses together for over 5 years.
Well, that's just it, Pop. You get tired of a person in 5 years.
I can't deny that, son. It's like I've always said, familiarity breeds contempt. Just like in the case of the son of the masked clock.
Son of the masked clock?
The masked clock was a fox who had an insatiable appetite for timepieces of all kinds. Every night of the week, he would hold up the stage and relieve the passengers of their wristwatches, stopwatches, and anything else they had so long as it ticked. Of course, as I always say, crime doesn't pay, which brings to mind another fable, which I'll save for later. Anyway, the masked clock, or fox if you prefer, was caught and subsequently languished away in prison. He left behind $20 million, one old pocket watch, and a son named Guy.
As your late father's attorney, it's my duty to turn over this money and this watch to you.
You can keep the watch. Just give me the money.
Not so fast, son. Your father tried to atone for his misdeeds in life. He returned every watch he had stolen, with the exception of this one.
Well, I'll return it, but I would like to spend some of this money first.
And spend it he did. 2 days later at the racetrack, he counted up his losses.
How do you like that? I have already lost $5 million, and I haven't made a bet.
Sitting in a nearby box was a familiar figure.
Have you returned the watch yet, son of the masked clock?
What watch?
The one your father didn't give back.
No, but I will do that tomorrow.
The following day, he took a plane to Monte Carlo, and that evening, standing in front of the roulette table, counted up his losses.
How do you like that? I have lost $10 million, and I still have not made a bet.
Yes, but did you return the watch?
What watch?
The one you're going to tell me you're going to return tomorrow.
Correction. The one I'm going to tell you I'm going to return next week.
Ah, but next week found him in a San Francisco real estate office.
I got $5 million left. I want to invest it in real estate.
2 minutes later, he was the proud owner of Death Valley. 3 minutes later, he was wandering the streets, penniless and destitute.
Oh, well, easy come, easy went.
Just then, he spotted a familiar figure coming his way.
Say, I will bet this is going to surprise you. Today, I am going to return that watch.
What watch?
The one my father never returned.
Inscribed on the back of the watch was the owner's name and address. Off the young fox went to do his deed. Unfortunately, 10223 was the address of the state prison.
I would like to see Mr. Britt, please.
Oh, nobody sees him. He's in solitary confinement for life.
It's my duty to return this watch, and nothing but nothing will stop me.
It suddenly struck the young wolf that the easiest way to get into prison was to commit a crime. Seeing a wanted poster of Tommy Gunn, the notorious bank robber, gave him an idea.
Mr. Gunn, I want to join your gang of hoodlums.
Well, you're in luck, Buster, because it just so happens we're short one hood. Be at the last National Bank at 2:30.
Mr. Hoover, Tommy Gunn is going to rob the last National Bank at 2:30. You could catch us all red-headed.
Good work, men. Take them down to headquarters.
Howdy, Chief. This one doesn't go. He's the one who tipped us off.
Congratulations, boy.
But don't I get to go to jail? Look at all this money I just robbed.
Keep it for a reward, boy.
Again, the son of the masked clock returned to the prison wall, willing to try anything to get inside. The fact that it was the darkest night of the year gave him a plan. Rope in hand, he started scaling the wall. But by sunup the next morning, he was still scaling. It was then he discovered he was on the 600th floor of the Gruber building in downtown Bakersfield. And in downtown Bakersfield, this was a felony.
Tough luck, buddy. You'll go to state's prison for this.
Happy day. Now I can return the watch. What do you think the judge will give me? 30 days?
Hard to tell. It's a new judge.
It may have been a new judge, but he had an old, familiar face.
You again. Did you ever return that watch?
Not yet, lawyer of my late father. You see...
Quiet! There's been a rash of Gruber building climbing in downtown Bakersfield, and I mean to put a stop to it. I was going to give you 30 days. Instead, I'm giving you 30 years.
And so the son of the masked clock finally did return the watch. But the fact that he annoyed the judge throughout the years caused him to spend the best years of his life behind bars. So you see, Junior, that is a perfect example of how familiarity breeds contempt.
That's almost right, Pop.
Almost.
Yeah. In this case, I'd say familiarity breeds contempt of court.
And a habeas corpus to you, too, son.
Last time you remember, our heroes were astounded to find a flower growing in Frostbite Falls in April.
Impossiroony.
And thinking the climate was changing, they dashed to the library to get some books on the weather. But as they started to leave, a strange figure blocked their way.
Hold it right there, you guys.
Who do you suppose that is?
Maybe it's the librarian.
With a gun?
Did you bring back those overdue books we had?
How come you guys got all the books on the weather?
Well, we like weather.
Yes, we like to have it around all the time.
Wouldn't be without it.
All right, can the funny chat and move out of there.
And menaced by the stranger's weapon, our boys started toward the door. Fortunately, their path took them right by the desk of Cletus Bookbinder, the town librarian.
He's sure to recognize us and call the police, Bullwinkle.
I can hardly wait to see the expression on that feller's face when Cletus says,
Well, I see you got both of them. Good work.
Mr. Bookbinder, it's us.
Take him away.
All right, get going, you two.
Say, who is this guy anyway?
I don't know. Maybe he's from some other TV show.
Say, fella, the Martin Kane show was dropped this year, you know, and...
I don't want to hear any more funny cracks, you understand?
You're right, Rock. He does belong on another show.
And so our heroes, mind you, were marched through the streets of Frostbite Falls at gunpoint.
Now, there's something you don't see every day, Chauncey.
What's that, Edgar?
Bullwinkle being followed by a man with a gun.
What's so unusual about that?
It's not moose hunting season yet.
Oh.
Where are you taking us, mister?
You'll find out, Junior.
And Junior, Rocky did, too. For in a moment, they were entering the federal building and approaching an office door.
Gee, that one must really be a hush-hush agency, Bullwinkle.
How come?
Look at the name on the door.
Censored. Yeah, that must be a tippy-tappy top secret outfit.
But to their surprise, our heroes were ushered right through that door.
X9 reporting with 2 suspects.
Good work, X9. The chief will see them now.
And our heroes approached a figure who, with its back turned, was talking on the telephone.
I don't care, operator. You must find them immediately, if not sooner. Yes, Rocky Squirrel and Bullwinkle Moose. That's it.
Hey, Bullwinkle, that's Captain Peter Peachfuzz.
The wrong way, expert.
Hey, Captain.
What is it? What is it?
2 suspects picked up reading weather books in the library.
Take them away.
But, Captain, it's us.
I couldn't care less. I'm trying to find Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, but that's us.
And we're they.
Very well, leave your names with the man at the desk and Rocky and Bullwinkle. Well, how did you get here?
I was brung.
I was brought, Bullwinkle.
Yeah, we were both brung.
Jim, I'm glad you're here. Who brought you?
This gentleman here.
Yeah, Mr. X9.
Actually, X9 is just my secret code name. You can call me by my real name.
What's that?
X3.
Well, how come you arrested us for reading books about the weather?
Please, don't mention that word in this office.
How come?
Even the walls have ears.
I thought that was funny-looking wallpaper.
Actually, the WHETHER has become a top secret item.
That's the wrong weather, Captain.
Oh, then you know.
Know what?
That the weather's all wrong.
Yeah, the H is silent.
You said it. It's very hush-hush.
I mean, you're supposed to drop the H.
You mean ush-ush?
What's ush-ush?
Well, I came to tell you why the weather's changing.
Well, why is it changing?
Because the world is turning upside down.
What?
What? The world turning upside down? Well, that's silly. And we'll find out just how silly in our next episode, Topsy Turvy Time, or Emit, Evie, Rut, Easy. Oh, forget it.
Now, everybody raise their right hands and repeat after me. I solemnly swear to be honest, loyal, brave, clean, and trustworthy.
Just a minute, buddy.
Something wrong?
Wrong? Oh, boy. What is this honest, brave, and loyal stuff?
It's the new fan club oath.
Maybe later on it mentions sly, nasty, and vile?
Nope. Just honest, brave, clean, loyal, and trustworthy.
What kind oath is that? You expect me to sell out, give up my way of life? I got low standards, you know. Come, Natasha, we start our own outfit. The Boris Bedenoff Fan Club. Well, what do you think of the new clubhouse?
Is real eyesore, Boris.
You really think so? You're not just saying that to make me feel good?
Oh, I wouldn't kid you, darling. With little work, it could be blight our whole community.
Think big, Natasha. We'll have Boris Bedenoff Fan Clubs blemishing whole country. New chapters pestering up everywhere.
How do we do this, Boris?
How else? Advertise on television. Feeling grouchy, irritable, nasty? Then Boris's fan club needs you. Modern-day clean living got you down? Want to strike a blow for foul play? Then join Boris Bedenoff Beast Corps.
This was a paid fanatical announcement.
Double your pleasure, double your fun. Join Boris's fan club and learn hit and run. Look, Natasha, he's working already. Look at those members.
Yes, Boris, but can they be trusted?
Trusted? Natasha, what a thing to say. Of course they can't be trusted. They're our kind of people.
Somewhere in the inner regions of outer northwest Canada, an inventor was at work. And that inventor was Snidely Whiplash. And his invention? Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties.
Well, not exactly. It's a mechanical Dudley Do-Right.
He doesn't move, Snidely.
Of course he doesn't move. That's what this key is for.
Gee, if he can only talk, he'd be the spitting image of Dudley Do-Right.
What do you mean, not talk? What do you think I bought this record for?
Yes, sir, Inspector Fenwick. Hello, Nell. It's Tommy this and Tommy that and chuck him out, the brute. But it's savior of his country when the guns begin to shoot.
What was that last there?
Kipling.
Yes, sir, Inspector Fenwick. Hello, Nell.
Gee, he looks real fine, Snidely. Real fine. But what are you going to do with him?
Don't you see, Homer? We're going to kidnap the real Dudley Do-Right and substitute the mechanical one.
Why are we going to do that, Snidely?
Because in that way we'll be able to carry forth our nefarious mischief without the real Dudley Do-Right interfering.
So as the real Dudley Do-Right was taking an afternoon stroll, Snidely Whiplash substituted the mechanical Dudley Do-Right.
Why, hello, Dudley.
Yes, sir, Inspector Fenwick.
I'm not Father. I'm Nell.
Hello, Nell.
I just bought the most beautiful hat. What do you think of it, Dudley?
It's Tommy this and Tommy that and chuck him out, the brute. But it's savior of his country when the guns begin to shoot.
What guns, Dudley?
Yes, sir, Inspector Fenwick.
Yes, so what, Dudley?
Hello, Nell.
Hello, Dudley.
Come with me, Dudley. I have a job for you.
It's Tommy this and Tommy that and...
And none of your back talk, Do-Right.
Meanwhile, back in Snidely Whiplash's shack, the real Dudley Do-Right was talking.
Oh, Snidely Whiplash, you will never get away with this. For everyone knows there is only one Dudley Do-Right of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Beware of substitute brands.
Come off it, Do-Right. They'll never know the difference.
And these two culprits are trying to smuggle furs across the border. I want you to bring them in.
Hello, Nell.
I've noticed something strange about Dudley. He's more succinct. Succinctness. I like that in my Mounties. Good work, Dudley.
But it's savior of his country when the guns begin to shoot.
Put up quite a fight, did they?
Yes, sir, Inspector Fenwick.
I thought so.
Hello, Nell.
What?
They're robbing the bank! Yes, surprising as it may seem, the mechanical Dudley Do-Right was a better Mountie than the real Dudley Do-Right. It always got its man, much to the chagrin of Snidely Whiplash.
Homer, I think I've created a monster.
So Snidely Whiplash took back the real Dudley Do-Right to the RCMP.
Inspector Fenwick, what you think is the real Dudley Do-Right is in verite a mechanical Dudley Do-Right. Here is the real Dudley Do-Right.
Yes, sir, Inspector, what he's telling you is the truth. Yes, sir, Inspector Fenwick.
Oh, are you trying to tell me I don't know the difference between a mechanical Do-Right and a real Dudley Do-Right? Why, this is the real Dudley Do-Right.
Hello, Nell.
And you, sir, are an imposter.
But, Inspector Fenwick!
Out! Out, the two of you, before I have Do-Right here throw you in the stockade.
Gee.
Where did I go wrong, Do-Right? Compose yourself, Whiplash. We'll get to the seat of this problem now. Oh! Oh, the key! I completely forgot about the key. Why, Dudley Do-Right is due to run down almost any time now.
Now, Do-Right, I want you to listen carefully because this is possibly the most important assignment of your career as a mounter.
Hello, Nell. Hello, Nell. Hello, Nell. Hello, Nell.
What's wrong, Dudley? You seem a little redundant today.
Hello, 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 hello. But it's savior of his country when the guns begin to shoot. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Dudley, pull yourself together.
Aha, Inspector! Now you see with your own two eyes that I am the real Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties.
Well, perhaps you're right.
Then tell me, what is this assignment you have for me that is so important?
Assignment? Oh, the assignment! Well, the assignment is to hurry up and put that machine together again. That was the best Dudley Do-Right the Mounties ever had.
Yes, Inspector Fenwick. Yes, Inspector Fenwick.
Well, as you know, everybody was amazed to find a flower growing in Frostbite Falls, Minnesota, including the town's leading citizens, Rocky and Bullwinkle.
The temperature must be rising.
It certainly was. Mercury was shooting out of the tops of thermometers all over town. The reason, of course, was that no thermometer in Frostbite Falls was built to register more than 20 degrees above zero.
Well, dagnabbit, we never had a heat wave before.
Then, when Rocky and Bullwinkle tried to find out about the weather, they were picked up by a sinister figure and taken to a federal office so secret its name wasn't even on the door. But once inside, it was Old Home Week. For the head of the agency was none other than Captain Peter Wrongway Peachfuzz.
Never mind, operator. I found them. Operator, operator.
You have the phone backwards, Captain.
Well, that's no reason for her to be rude.
Captain, why are we here?
Why are any of us here?
Huh?
Our lives are but sparks, flickering against eternity.
Captain.
Mere whispers in the hurricane of time.
But why are we here in this office?
Oh, that's different.
And why is the weather changing?
That I know.
Then why didn't you tell us?
It's not in my script, but here's the man who can explain it.
And the good captain flung open a nearby door.
That's the janitor's closet, Captain.
This must be the door.
That's the janitor.
So it is. Well, I've run out of doors.
Maybe that wasn't the janitor, Bullwinkle.
Hey, are you the janitor?
No, I'm the professor.
So you are. Boys, this is Professor Werner von Beige.
Isn't that Von Brown?
Von Beige. This one bleached out a little.
Well, I can't make head or tail of this.
Ah, then you know.
Know what?
That the world is turning upside down.
Upside down?
Jawohl, Topsy mit Turvy.
And the good professor told our heroes his startling story. It seems that according to his calculations, the North Pole was sliding further and further south.
Actually, the Earth is slowly tipping over this way.
Well, everybody needs a change once in a while.
But in 6 months, the South Pacific is going to be where the Arctic Ocean is now.
Where'll that put Frostbite Falls, Professor?
According to my calculations, Frostbite Falls should wind up right on the equator.
Gee.
And Chicago will be where Honolulu is.
And what'll happen to Philadelphia?
Oh, they'll still be in the cellar.
Nice to know some things won't change.
But we don't want to live on the equator.
How come?
It's just going to ruin the ice hockey season.
Hey, that's right. We gotta break this thing up.
But how?
Well, I figure if we can find a new North Pole and melt the ice there, the world may straighten out.
Good idea. Where is the new North Pole?
It's due west of here, in the Pacific Ocean.
Well, then let's go.
And so a few days later, our heroes were preparing to take off for the West Pole.
You got the stuff to melt the ice, Bullwinkle?
There it is, Rock. 2,000 heating pads, 100 pounds of salt, 500 incendiary bombs, and 400 pictures of Gina Lollapalooza.
Well, some ought to work.
And something did. The captain turned a switch to reverse jet, and the huge plane began to lumber down the field backwards.
Looks like a rough trip ahead of us, Bullwinkle.
Looks like a rougher one behind us.
Then as the plane began to rise slowly, tail first, a small figure waved goodbye from the runway below.
Bye-bye. Sure nice of him to come see us off, wasn't it?
Who?
Professor Von Beige.
Professor Von Beige?
You notice kind of an echo in here?
Yes, as fate and Captain Peachfuzz would have it, our boys had left behind the only man who knew where in the world they were headed.
What difference does it make? I can only see where we've been anyway.
Be sure to see our next episode, Bullwinkle Takes the Wheel or the Bum Steer.